Vienna. The year is 1987. A hotel room, dimly lit, curtains drawn. Two men, one metal tube. No one's watching. No one's supposed to know. But in that moment, history shifts. The tube being handed over isn't just a tube. It looks like a pipe, feels like steel. But this is the heart of a centrifuge. The P-1, a machine built to do one thing: turn uranium into a nuclear weapon. This was not a bomb deal. It was more dangerous. It was the sale of nuclear capability. Not destruction, but the power to destroy. And behind this terrifying transaction, a man, a name, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan, a Pakistani nuclear physicist who would go on to build the world's first nuclear black market. 2003, off the coast of Malta, authorities intercept a cargo ship. Name, BBC China. Its contents, not drugs, not weapons, but something far more lethal. Centrifuge components, blueprints, uranium enrichment setups, enough to build a bomb. The ship had been headed for Libya. When cornered, dictator Muammar Gaddafi didn't lie. He pointed one finger. We got it all from Dr. Khan. And just like that, the mask fell off. What had been rumor became reality. A secret network was exposed, one built in the shadows, fueled by ambition and cloaked in betrayal. The network didn't appear overnight. It was crafted piece by piece over decades. And it began in the classrooms of Karachi University. That's where a young Abdul Qadeer Khan first fell in love, not with a person, but with physics. Soon he found himself in Germany, at the Technical University, studying materials science. But the language, the culture, the isolation, it broke him down. Within 6 months, he was ready to quit. A teaching job in Nigeria was waiting. But just before he left, a professor stopped him. He didn't yell. He just said, "If you leave now, you'll regret it forever." Khan listened, and he stayed. That one decision changed everything. A softer background. He began traveling, seeing Europe, sending postcards home. In a small Dutch gift shop, he met Henriette, a woman who would become his wife, and the cover to his double life. With her by his side, he completed his PhD in Belgium. And just like that, the boy from Bhopal became Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan. 1972, the Netherlands. Khan joins Urenco, a uranium enrichment facility. There, a process known only to the elite. Uranium enrichment. A quick science lesson. Uranium contains two types of atoms, regular ones used for power, and rare ones used for bombs. Enrichment means separating them. The higher the enrichment, the closer you get to nuclear destruction. Khan wasn't supposed to work on the centrifuge, but he was always watching, always listening. Fluent in German, intelligent, curious, obsessively curious. He memorized internal documents, collected supplier names, sneaked into restricted areas using charm and fake credentials. What he saw there shocked him and inspired him. If they can do it, why not Pakistan? That thought became a plan. In 1971, Pakistan was crushed in war. Bangladesh was born. National pride destroyed. Then came India's bomb test, Smiling Buddha. Celebrations in Delhi, Silence in Islamabad. Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto called the scientists and made a chilling promise. We will eat grass if we must, but we will have the bomb. But the program was slow, too slow. And that's when Khan wrote a letter from the Netherlands to Bhutto. I have the technology. I can build it fast. Bhutto invited him immediately, and thus began Pakistan's nuclear revolution. But Khan didn't just come back with ideas. He came with something far more powerful: blueprints, supplier lists, internal diagrams, centrifuge secrets. Nearly 100 European companies identified, each with something vital to the bomb. In December 1975, he resigned, packed his bags, took his wife, 2 daughters, and a briefcase full of secrets. Back to Pakistan. Dutch intelligence knew. They charged him with espionage, sentenced to 4 years. But Khan was already safe, home. He began work with the Pakistan Atomic Energy Commission, but didn't get along with its chairman. Too slow, too bureaucratic. Khan believed in one thing: speed is survival. And in 1976, he got his chance. A new project, a new lab, a new name. Project 706. Code for Pakistan's bomb program. And at its heart, deep in the mountains of Kahuta, KRL was born. Khan Research Laboratories. Hidden, fortified, protected by soldiers, fueled by stolen science. Germany, Switzerland, Britain, every part needed was bought or smuggled. And on April 4, 1978, for the first time ever, Pakistan enriched uranium. 1981. A name echoes through the fortified mountains of Kahuta. KRL, Khan Research Laboratories. Hidden from satellites, guarded by armed patrols. Inside, a ticking secret. The lab wasn't just operational, it was ready. In just a few years, Khan had taken Pakistan from scientific infancy to nuclear adolescence. And by 1984, he was ready to prove it. He writes a letter to General Zia-ul-Haq. "We are ready. If you say the word, we can detonate within a week." But the world wasn't ready, neither was Pakistan. So the government chose silence. No announcement, no test. Just quiet. But not for long, because across the border, in India, the fuse had already been lit. May 1998. The Indian government, led by the BJP, shocks the world with 5 nuclear tests. Pokhran 2. The balance had shifted. Pakistan was furious. May 28, 1998. In the remote mountains of Chagai, Pakistan answers. Boom, 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 boom. 5 detonations. Back to back. The world shakes. And on May 30, a 6th. All powered by one source. Highly enriched uranium. Created in Khan's lab. The man once accused of espionage is now on every newspaper front page. Not as a thief, not as a criminal, but as a national savior. But while the world was praising Khan, Khan was building something else. A second network. Not for Pakistan, but for profit and ideology. In the shadows of his fame, Khan had created a clandestine empire. Nuclear technology, centrifuge blueprints, supplier networks, all for sale, to the highest bidder. Iran, Libya, North Korea, all knocking, all buying. In Iran, a Shell Research Institute is set up, Physics Research Center. But underneath it all, revolutionary guards, enriching uranium in secret. From Khan, they receive detailed diagrams, P1 centrifuge models, process blueprints. But Khan is clever. He doesn't send anything directly. Everything moves through fake companies. Gulf Technical Industries, Machine Technical Park, Altrovsine Trading, all fronts, all lies. Export manifests list the machines as water pumps. They weren't pumps. They were pieces of a bomb. In North Korea, a different deal, a barter system. Khan gives them enrichment tech. They give missile tech in return. That same missile tech later appears in Pakistan's Gauri missile. Today, it's a symbol of national pride, a deterrent. But somewhere, a mirror image also exists in Pyongyang. Did Khan help build North Korea's bomb too? No one knows for sure. But the evidence is haunting.
Scene shift. 2003. Iranian uranium samples show contamination. Fingerprints point to Pakistan. Then comes the BBC China ship, seized off Malta. Inside, centrifuge parts. Gaddafi surrenders, and he says the name loud and clear, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan. The CIA and MI6 launch a global manhunt. Tenet, the CIA director, says he's more dangerous than Osama bin Laden, not because of what he'd done, but because of what he enabled. Not a terrorist, but the supplier of terror. If you wanted to build the world's most powerful weapon, you didn't go to Moscow, not to Paris, not to Washington. You went to Islamabad. Because in Islamabad there lived a man who carried the map to nuclear destruction in his pocket. Khan's empire stretched across Pakistan, Dubai, Malaysia, Switzerland, a multi-level supply chain, shielded by diplomats, middlemen, professors, even innocent researchers. Most of them had no idea what they were really transporting. Centrifuge parts hidden inside machines labeled irrigation systems, water pumps, coolers. Every document forged, every shipment tracked, watched, trusted. And behind it all, a national hero, guarded by the army, trusted by the president, celebrated by the people. But in secret, he was the godfather of a nuclear underworld, the Shadow King, the ghost merchant of global destruction. By the early 2000s, the world's most powerful intelligence agencies were no longer chasing terrorists. They were tracing shipments, following phone calls, watching every shadow that moved across the Khan network. The CIA, the MI6, the IAEA, they all agreed.
This man was not just a scientist. He was an architect of nuclear anarchy. And then came the most chilling moment of all, a leaked communication. 2000, Khan offers to sell the design for an atomic bomb to Saddam Hussein. The price? $5 million. Saddam says no, but the world shudders. What if he had said yes? What if Iraq, already unstable, got its hands on the final blueprint? And that's when people start asking, why was Khan doing all this? Was it greed, or was it something else? His close associates had the answer. He wasn't just a businessman, he was a believer. Khan believed that nuclear weapons shouldn't be exclusive to the West, that Muslim nations should also have the power to defend, to deter, to rise. He was not just a smuggler, he was an ideological smuggler. Every country that got Khan's help tried to build the bomb. Some succeeded, others failed, but all of them tried. After 9/11, the entire planet changed. Global paranoia spiked, and Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan became priority number one. The CIA and MI6 began intercepting everything. Every shipment, every fax, every late-night phone call. Nothing was safe. And then, the pressure on Pakistan escalated. The Americans demanded answers. Who is selling your secrets? Who is building bombs in your name? On February 4th, 2004, a nation held its breath. Live on state television, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan, the father of Pakistan's nuclear program, stepped in front of the camera. He looked tired, pale, but defiant. And then he said, "I take full responsibility for all my actions, and I ask you for your forgiveness." But he didn't name names. He didn't point fingers. He protected the army. He protected the state. He took the entire fall alone. But could he really have done all of it alone? Could such a vast operation, crossing continents, bypassing borders, avoiding satellites, sanctions, exist without government support? Many say no. Some believe Khan's public confession was a deal, a trade. In exchange for silence, he would live. But under house arrest, he spent years in a gilded cage. No travel, no press, no politics. But he gave one more interview, and in it he said something that would define his legacy forever. "I saved my country twice," he said. Once by giving it the bomb, and again by taking all the blame myself. After 2004, he failed from political life. In 2012, he tried to start a political party. It failed. The people still loved him, but the system buried him. And then in 2021, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan died. No public trial, no international justice, only a question, a single haunting question. Was he a hero, or was he the world's most dangerous villain? One man who changed the fate of nations without firing a single bullet. A ghost, a godfather, a genius. His name is Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan, and this was the Shadow Tube.